It's not going to work. I'm going to have to follow the lead of my pastor and encourage the shouting back towards my direction. You know? If you don't know how to do that, if you don't come from a place that does that, when you say various things, like, yeah. Woo. Woo. That's good. You know, amen.
Amen.
You know, that's for my neighbor. That's for my mother. You know? Call someone out. Stand up, that's for you. You say, preach it, white boy.
Preach it, white boy.
Preach it, white boy.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's my favorite one. I've heard somebody say that. Anyways, everybody practice that. When I say 3, you gotta practice 1. If you're not practicing 1, you're wrong, alright? Sorry. If you don't even want to do it, just do it to make me happy, because I'm speaking, alright? Alright, guys ready?
You wouldn't do
1, 2, 3, go. So, I haven't preached in a while, so I'm ready to go. And I don't want to do it alone. So I asked. I felt honored. My man Matthew would just come, back me up, help me out, you know, go in there as you will.
He said he felt honored to speak with me, but I'm truly the one that's honored to speak with him because he's been bringing it. So everybody give a hand for him.
Matthew.
Before we start.
What mic do you have?
And before we start, I want to tell a story. Okay, this story is hilarious. I can't make this kind of stuff up, alright? Seriously. Alright, so me and my little sister, right? I was asking her questions, right? Like, what would you do with baby Hitler? So she's like, who's Hitler? You know, why is he a baby? What am I supposed to do with him? I told her all about Hitler, and she's like, so when he was born, I would lock her up. I would lock him up and take away all this stuff so he can't hurt anybody. That's what he said. That's what she said. And then she started writing down the answers on whiteboards. So I asked her, like, would you give a frog a gun? And she said, no, hold up. Watch me draw in Japanese. I said, alright, you got it, bro, draw in Japanese. And she was drawing, and my mom was like to the side looking over at him, and she said, hey, that's not Japanese, that's a music note. Right? And Haley was like, no. See, because music notes look like shoes. This is a circle. And looked her dead in the eyes and was like, wow, Mom, I cannot believe you don't know the difference between Japanese and music notes. That had nothing to do with anything I'm talking about, but I just wanted to tell you guys.
You know what really bothers me though?
What?
One person said what? That's fine. I was just going to answer it anyways. Okay. What really bothers me is like when we don't have confidence in ourselves just to do the simple things that we're called to do on an everyday basis. You know what I mean?
You know, she's like, look. After that, my mom had no more faith in her music note intelligence. See, there was a point that she just didn't know. And it's not because she was wrong, per se, but it's because of what somebody told her.
Right.
You see, somebody told her something of, maybe even it was pure intentions, but it was saying ill to her. So not because she was wrong or did anything bad, but something came off as ill intentions, right? And it hurt her, and now she wasn't confident in it anymore. And so say we're called to do something, we're called to sing, preach, speak, whatever, and somebody says something to you of pure intentions or ill intentions, and it comes off and it hurts you. And all of a sudden you're not confident anymore. And you act as if what they said to you is better than what God told you to do.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know? So like,
That's for my mom.
So like there's some people like, okay, take person A for example. Okay, since Audrey thinks it's pointed at her and her name starts with an A, I'm going to say person B, and now Bo's going to say, that's me now, right? Okay. So, whatever. Person number 1. You know, they're like, whoever. Okay, so like this person is like, well, I don't think that I should sing. And I'm like, well, why not? Well, I don't sing as well as that person, right? I don't preach as well as Kevin or Johnny does. I don't, you know, I don't worship like Audrey or Autumn do. But you should just do it because God told you to.
Yeah.
Like we're all trying to get people into the same atmosphere, right?
Yep.
So like if like Billy, you bless my socks. Like seriously, you really do. I mean, forgive me for saying this, but the dude, oh man, I feel really bad to say it. You're a good singer, right? Sure. But you get up here and worship with all you got, man. man. Like, you really do. And I love it. I really do. No matter how good or bad you can sing, you should just worship because God simply told you to.
Amen.
Right?
What you're saying is, if somebody looks at you and says, Selena Gomez sounds a little bit better than you, they should look back at you and say, but God didn't call Selena Gomez to be these people. Like God would have called the person telling you that you're wrong. He would have called them to do it if he wanted them to do it.
Yeah.
But he called you to do it. And get this. God had options. I heard a great man by the name of Stephen Furtick. He said this, it touched me. He said, God has options.
That's right.
But he chose you. Like, and so we feel incompetent in ourselves, right? And then we start putting ourselves in the place like where Barabbas was. On the day where Pilate and Jesus and Barabbas, Pilate like as a holy damn to let one person go. The people wanted Jesus to be crucified. So they said, give us Barabbas, right? And he's a bad man, right? Murderer, thief, rebel. So we put ourselves in that place. And when the people say, give us Audrey, or give us Robert, or give us Matthew, you know, we say, nah, why? Jesus is perfect. You should have him. Why is he giving my punishment? I deserve this punishment. And Jesus is over here like, no, you don't. See, because I died to give you what I deserve. See, I took what you deserve so you get what I deserve. You don't deserve this punishment anymore. See, because my love, I don't see your sin anymore because I died on the cross and I covered your sin in my grace. Right? So why do you deserve that? And why do you think you can save yourself from that? Because you can't.
Right.
But I love you enough. I would do it for you.
Yeah.
Now, I saved you from this punishment.
Come on.
You know, you don't deserve, like, because who you are is not defined by what you do.
Come on. Come on.
See, who you are is defined by what Jesus did for you.
So like you're telling me, you're telling all of us that the past doesn't define you, it prepares you. Okay. So what you were talking about, like Barabbas, you know, that reminds me of like when Jesus was actually on the cross, and that one dude was like, "We deserve this." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like exactly. Like, you're perfect. They shouldn't be doing this to you. But us other two guys, we deserve this.
Come on.
Right? And that's the position we put ourselves in all the time. We deserve to be called whatever person 1, 2, and 3 calls us when we're at school. We deserve to be punished. That's where we put ourselves. That's where we put ourselves. But really, God says, no, I covered you. You're worthy. So stop putting yourself down like that.
Amen. Thank you, Bible.
Down because something you have done in your past or something somebody said to you. Basically, what you're saying is what I did is more than what Jesus did by dying for me.
Amen.
But that's not it. That's not the case. See, because what Jesus did, he cast perfect love, cast out all fear. And there's no greater love than to die for someone you love.
Yes.
Right?
Amen.
So he cast out all fear. You are no longer slaves to the law of sin and death. You know, you're slaves to righteousness. God made you righteous, and that's the truth you got to tell yourself.
Come on.
Is that I'm not this is not what I deserve. See, what you did is not who you are. That's what you did. See, there's a reason God separated sin from his people.
Come on.
He said, I hate sin, but I love my people.
Come on.
So when my people sin, I have to cover it with grace.
Come on.
Because where sin abounds, grace doubles abounds. Right? Because God can't look at sin, but God can't stand not to look at you.
Come on.
So what you do when you sin, God covers you.
Come on.
It's already covered. Right?
Yeah, so like, but also there was another person on the opposite cross, right? And he was saying pretty much the exact opposite, like, aren't you God? Then save me. Save yourself. Why don't you do, if you're God, prove it. You know what I mean? And we do that too. Like, not only do we beat ourselves up, we ask God, who has already saved us, to save us again. And that doesn't make any sense. If we're already saved, why do we need to be saved again?
And get this. God is everywhere. He's omnipresent, right?
Yes.
He's everywhere all the time.
Yes.
And his time zone is not like our time zone. He's on a whole other spectrum, right? So he's in our past right now. He's here right now, and he is all the way in our future right now.
Yes.
So you don't think that before you messed up, he was already there watching you mess up and already forgave you for that sin.
Come on, come
Right? So
on.
why do you put yourself down about it? You know, like when Austin preached, he said, when you fall what? Forward. Don't fall backwards, because so many times we can be like this. Yeah, we're in Jesus. You know, we take 3 steps forward and then we mess up. We take 1 step back. So we think that we can put ourselves 5 more steps back. But no, when you take 3 steps forward and you fall back, right? For all have sinned, falling short of the glory of God, right?
Yeah.
Then the devil starts to get you. And he starts to tell you lies. And he makes it seem like it's your own thoughts, right? So you seem right. You're like, man, I'm not, you know, I'm not good enough. I can't preach no more because this is that I did, you know? I can't sing no more. How am I supposed to tell people about Jesus, but I just did that? You know, that's who I am. I can't do no better than that.
Bless him, Father.
Right?
Come on, come
But
on.
let me tell you a story, because Peter was Jesus' closest friend. Okay, we're going to say he was Jesus' closest friend in the flesh, right? And after Jesus said, before the rooster crows 3 times, Peter, you're going to deny me. You're going to deny me 3 times. And Peter's like, no, I never deny you. He promised him, I will never deny you. Right? And he went out, and after Jesus got captured, and said, oh, look, that's Peter. Weren't you with Jesus? Nah, bro, I don't even know Jesus. Who is that Jesus guy? Walks away, that's one. Somebody else, hey, Peter, weren't you with Jesus? No, I don't even like Jesus. I don't even know who Jesus is. Why is everybody talking about Jesus? Right? But get this. The 3rd time he says he cursed and rejected Jesus.
Yeah.
So he was like, hey, weren't you with Jesus? No, bro. Forget Jesus. That's what I said. Basically, if we put it in, forget Jesus. Right? So he cursed and denied Jesus. Right? And he said the rooster crowed and he remembered what Jesus told him.
Yeah.
And he went out and wept bitterly. Why do I think that besides Jesus in the garden, this is probably the hardest weeping and crying and sadness that somebody's ever done? Why? Because Peter was with Jesus, his closest friend. So he came up and he heard Jesus' preachings. Like Robert said, he heard Jesus' preachings of, you deny me before men, I deny you for my Father in heaven. He heard that. And then he promised him that he wouldn't deny him to his face, and then he goes and denies him 3 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Come on.
But Jesus dies, pays for the sin, and he comes back, and he looks at Peter. He's like, Peter, do you love me? He's like, yeah, I love you. And then he thinks to himself, like the devil makes it your own thoughts. He's like, do I really? No, I can't truly love him, because I denied him 3 times. And does he still love me? Because I rejected him. So what, he rejected him before God in heaven? I don't know if I really love him. And you see, Jesus knows that he was thinking that, so he said, Peter, do you love me? Asked him the 2nd time. Yes, God, you know everything. You know that I love you. No, I don't think I do. Because I did protection. I can't love. That's not love. You know? I told promise my word. Gave my word. No, I can't love him. And he looked at him the 3rd time. The 3rd time. I don't think it's a coincidence that Jesus was in the grave for 3 days. Alright, because he looked at him the 3rd time and he said, Peter, do you love me?
Come on.
Now, I mean really love him. Like, it doesn't matter what you did. Okay, because that's not who you are. I'm not going to hold that against you. And Robert says, instead of doing what he could do, what he could have done, instead of doing what he could have done by denying Peter before God, he did what he ought to have done. And he set him free. And he saved him. He brought him back up. And he said it 3 times because Jesus knew that Peter loved him.
Yep.
And Jesus had to reassure Peter that he loved him.
Yes.
Peter had to realize it again in himself.
Yes.
Come on. Amen. Come on,
He's
kid.
okay and that he's free, right?
Yep.
Right, okay?
Yeah, so like, but there was another part to it, you know, after Peter says, you know, yes, of course, what does Jesus say then to Peter, right? Y'all know? It's all good.
Feed my sheep.
Feed my sheep. What is Jesus asking Peter to do? He's asking Peter to serve Jesus, right?
Uh-huh.
Just like Jesus did when he washed everybody's feet, right?
Yep.
So I think like what true love is to me is like when you're willing to go out of your way to not only lead, but to also serve. You know what I mean? Like not only can I stand here and get up here and preach and it'd be cool, but I can like go out there and like I don't move the chairs with Bo because it needed to be done, right?
Uh-huh.
And like I think it was something that you said a while back. It was like, you know, if you can't get the stuff done in the background, how can you expect anything to be done? Will be done.
Right, so it's like, when we fall short, we're like,
Yeah.
I'm just a good listener. That's like my good gift. I can listen to people. Ooh, and I don't feel like I get to talk. Nobody listens to me, but I can listen to them. And it's like, but you can save somebody from committing suicide and hurting so much other people just because you listen to them. You know how many times that's happened? I've witnessed that firsthand. That somebody was saved from suicide, not because I listened to them, but because my friend listened to them. My friend listened to them, and it saved them, and it changed them. And they were like, yeah, nobody cares about me. They just needed somebody to know, hey, I'm here for you, and you're worthy. It's okay. You're good. Right? And so, a lot of times people feel like we're in the background, like we plan everything out, we getting songs together, we're helping people, we're setting up, but we never get any credit, right? And we're always in the front, right? But the greatest reward, I think what God rewards most, is when somebody is okay. They're not scared of not being noticed. Because they know that them not being noticed is allowing God to be noticed.
Yeah.
Right? So don't be discouraged. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta have faith that what you're doing is making a difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You just gotta have faith because Jesus is the author and finisher of your faith.
Amen.
So really, it's not even your faith. It's Jesus' faith that He gave you.
Yeah.
And Jesus was all powerful. So you have all powerful faith.
Yes.
And if you have faith this big, size of a mustard seed, anything is possible. Nothing is impossible. Right? And nothing will move. I believe that's literal and spiritual.
Yep.
Like if you literally need something to be done, it will be done. And you have faith. Like the girl prayed a tornado around. Look it up, a girl was on her porch and
Yes.
the tornado turned around.
Yes.
And she declared her faith in Jesus, right? But I believe on a much deeper level that when we're in ourselves and we hear and we recognize, because sometimes it's so hard because we have the Holy Spirit, which is a convictor, and we have Satan, which is a condemner. And Satan makes them sound so similar, right? So it's so hard to separate, right? So we tell ourselves like, we're bad, we're wrong, we can't do this, we're not good enough. Sometimes the things people call us, we take on those labels. Fat, ugly, stupid, We feel bad because we failed a class. Like a girl said, I worked and she failed a class, and that was her worth, was in her grades, and she failed a class, and she was worthless to herself, right? Sometimes we make bad choices, and we feel worthless to ourselves. But we have to be able to remember that the devil is a liar, right?
Yeah.
But the devil can't stand in the presence of truth. So when we feel that way, we just got to tell ourselves, no, Jesus died for me. I am the righteousness of God found in Christ because God made peace with everything on heaven and earth. So that means He made peace with my sin when Jesus died. That means He made peace with my shame when Jesus died. He made peace with my guilt. And He made peace with when I mess up. God already made peace with that. And He's already forgiven me for that. So I am worthy. And I am good enough. Because why? Because Jesus said I was. And Jesus said so. And when Jesus says, good.
So Jesus tells us that we have the power to stomp on snakes and scorpions, right? What was Satan? He was a snake, right? So when Satan's up in your face, I'm going to get really, really up in somebody's bubble right now. When Satan is in your face saying, you're not good enough, you can't do it, stop it. All you have to do is say, get thee, Satan, behind me. God told me I was able to do this. That's why He called me to do it. And that's why I'm going to do it, because I'm going to be obedient and just do what God said.
See, I believe it is in Matthew 6 and 33. Actually, I know it is. So Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness. First, before anything else, and then all else will be given unto you. Right? So then we feel bad, we feel nervous, we're messed up, right? But you just gotta know that if you keep seeking God first, before anything else, you keep coming to the altar. I heard T.D. Jakes, he said, if you feel like you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus, you want a personal relationship with Jesus, that means you gotta be willing to come to the altar, and come back to the altar. And come back to the altar, 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 until one day you come back to the altar and you get up, and what you prayed for and declared over your life, now you believe it. Because the more you pray, the more you declare that God is good. God will never let me down. I am forgiven. I'm not good enough, but I don't have to be because Jesus was good enough for me. You know, I am worthy, I am capable, and the devil is a liar. The more you declare that over your life, the more you're going to believe it.
Yes.
And so you just got to have faith. But see, God, since He is the author of our faith, what does that mean? We can actually pray for faith. So if you pray for faith, you pray for wisdom, and God will just give it to us. Because He loves us.
Yeah.
Did you know that Jesus actually interceded for us? He prayed for all future believers?
Yeah.
Did you know that? So Jesus prayed for us, right? And speaking of Jesus praying, on a side tangent, why did Jesus pray? Like He had Father, Son, and Holy Spirit right here. You know, He's all like right there. Why you gotta pray? Because He knows that praying, it draws you closer to God, and it reassures you to yourself as well as letting you hear from God. But if Jesus, the only perfect person, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, right there, Word in flesh, if He had to pray, how much more should we get along by ourselves?
Come on.
Right? If Jesus found time to take time out of His day, which was very busy, He didn't just read the Gospels, and He found time to pray alone and worship alone,
Come on.
and just get with God. And He just stayed there until God spoke to Him. Until God, He didn't get up. He was like Jacob, I think it was, that wrestled with the angel. And He said, I'm not going to leave here until you bless me. That's what Jesus did. He said, I'm not going to leave this spot until God, you speak to me. Until God, you tell me something. Until God, you bless me. Because you don't think Jesus got discouraged, dude. You don't think it was hard for Jesus to do miracles, dude. Because it was. Jesus did get discouraged. I believe Jesus did want to quit sometimes. I believe Jesus did want to go through with everything sometimes. And it was hard. You think that when He told a paralyzed person just get up and walk, the paralyzed person just got up and just started sprinting? You think that's what happened? I don't think so. Because the paralyzed person, he's like, whoa. So there was probably some grunting involved. You know, Jesus probably had to help him along the way and get it back up, right? But what happened? The paralyzed man, he got up and he used the faith that Jesus gave to him, and he got up and started walking. And it was a struggle for him to walk, but he remembered that he was doing it with Jesus.
Amen.
So just remember that you're going through the struggle right now, but you're going through it with Jesus. And though he couldn't move, he went through the struggle with Jesus. And there you go, he's off running. And he didn't go through it alone. So you will never be alone, because Jesus is always there with you. That sounds like the most cliche thing we hear all the time. Yeah, Jesus is with me. Whoa, you know, I don't know about Jesus right now. But no, Jesus is all powerful. And He's giving you all powerful faith. So what does that mean? When we get all powerful faith, we got to look at the devil and say, hold up now. Before you come at me with this, just know that I got faith. And I'm not afraid to use it. Like seriously, what does that mean? That means devil's going to come at me, but I know that I have the authority to trample upon snakes and scorpions. I know that I have the authority to say, get behind me, Satan. I know that I have the authority to tell the devil what is the truth.
Yeah.
Because when the devil's trying to tell you how bad you are, it's just because his whole life was one big fault.
Yep.
You know, you just remind him, you're just mad because your whole life was one big fault, and you're still not going to succeed. And you know the Bible, so you know you're never going to succeed. So you just remind him of that, he's going to get upset. And you just tell him, I have all powerful faith, and I'm not afraid to use it. Because
Amen.
you can't be afraid to use it. Because if you're afraid, then is it true faith? Right? Because faith says, I believe this can happen, and I know this can happen. And if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, not faith with no doubt, like, there is going to be doubt there. Faith this big, that's very tiny. There is going to be doubt there. But all powerful faith, which is what we have because Jesus gave it to us, it drowns out all the doubt. You see, it drowns out all our guilt and our shame and all our personal thoughts. All the thoughts of this is probably not going to work. Our faith, when we put it into action, you see, because faith without works is dead. That's what the Bible says, faith without works is dead. So we have to put our faith into action. That's why I want to tell you guys about the faith in action movement. Right? You go out and get yourself a breakthrough. What do I mean by that? Get yourself a breakthrough. Because a true breakthrough is not God, I'm struggling, so I need a miracle right now. And I want you to answer my prayer. You know, give me a blessing because I'm struggling. A true breakthrough comes when you say, no. God, I'm struggling, but I'm still worthy. So you make me the answer to somebody else's prayer. You make me a blessing to somebody else. Help me to be a miracle to somebody else and help them out. You know? Because the great philosopher once said, if you want to overcome your own guilt and your own depression, go find somebody that's worse off than you are and do everything you can to help them. Right? And that's what Jesus did. And we're supposed to, the commandment Jesus gave us was love others as I have loved you. So, if you have faith, which Jesus gives to you, if you love others, you know, which God can take your heart of stone and put it into a heart of flesh, and you obey God. Obey God. See, a lot of people think that I'm bad because I sinned. No, Jesus paid for your sin. Humanity no longer has a sin issue. Sin is paid for. Humanity, we have an obedience issue. See, we don't want to obey the outline for our lives, which is the Bible, you know, the teaching of Jesus. We don't want to do that. And so, not that God is mad at us, but God just kind of is like letting us do it on our own. You know, because if we think we're better than God, God loves us enough to show us that we're not. So we're doing it on our own, and we're going through it. And we hit rock bottom. But when you get to the bottom, there's only one other direction you can go. It's up. So when you feel like you're on the bottom, you just tell yourself that Jesus is at the bottom. Because think about this. Jesus was perfect. And he came to this earth and put himself lower than the people he was leading. He went down and he washed their feet. Now, we're not talking about clean feet. You know what we're talking about?
Like, you know, those people back in the day, they had some like sandals on. It wasn't like, okay, you see these shoes right here? Lift them up, show everybody. Those are some pretty clean shoes, right? But these people back in the day had some like dirt and mud. Like, imagine me taking my semi-clean socks going outside right now. Y'all know it just rained, so it's nasty out there. And just dipping my foot down into mud. You know, sploosh. Right? And then being, all right, Jesus, come wash my feet. And Jesus was like, all right, cool. And he did it because he was willing to serve. And see, like this right here, it says on the screen, that's step one, right? That's step one. So what is step two? Right? What is step two? Step two is to find out what you're calling, right? So if you love your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, you serve people, and you love your neighbor, and that's pretty much the same thing. God will open up to you what you're calling with, right? And then you can truly serve people, right? You can truly serve people by being alive to them, by just following what you're called to do.
Amen. Because so many people struggle with finding their true calling.
Yes.
What if I made it? Well, there's certain things that every Christian is called to do. Every Christian is called to love God. Why are you a Christian? You don't love God. Everybody is called to love people. And everybody is called to help others. And if you don't know your calling, what you were made to do, because everybody in here was made for you to do something big. No matter what you've done, you are made to do something big. And the devil tries to tell you you're not good enough. But it's okay, because Jesus has already overcome Satan, right? So he tries to tell you you're not good enough, but you are good enough. And you are made to do something big. And it can change the world if you just grab hold of it. But you can't find it. So just serve and loving God. Don't make sure you find time to be alone and pray like Jesus did. Make sure you find time to stay alone and worship like Jesus did. And love others. Make sure you put others higher than you put yourself.
Yes.
Because that's really the best way to have a happy life, and it sounds really weird. But like somebody there was this preacher at a church that called Grace Midtown, and I was watching his sermon, and he was going out of town. And he has kids. Not like any kids, like he has mean kids. Like, and his kids like throw toys around and they just mean to everybody. But he looks at his friend, he's like, hey buddy, look, you watch my kids for like, I don't know how long, but just until I get back. I don't know how long it's going to be, but just like take my kids. No, why not? No. Well then. And this goes back to that foot thing, right? Because who wants to clean his foot after he's done dipped it in some mud? Who wants to do it?
Well,
You think Jesus wanted to do it? It's not about what you want to do. See, the key is who is willing to do it. See, at a very literal level, if he can't do it himself at a very literal level, but on a more spiritual level. You see what I'm saying? Not that he wants to do it, but is he willing to do it? So this guy said, Yeah, I will watch your kids. Sure. And then, this guy, the preacher that gave his kids away, his new kids, he has to find somebody to stay with. Because he hates being alone. And his wife's not going to move. So he is asking his friends that live in where he's going, they have like 2-bedroom house, like apartments. Like they have a bath, a bedroom, and a living room, and that's it. And he's like, can I live with you guys? And they got kids. They're like, can I live with you guys for like, I don't know how long. But yeah, until whenever. And they're like, they probably didn't want to do it. There's probably days that they were like, when is this guy going to get out my house? You know what I mean? They're like, no, I'm willing. Because why? Because I know that I'm going to love others. You know, it's in Galatians, since we're free in Jesus. But make sure we don't use our freedom to gratify our own sinful desires. So you gotta make sure we use our freedom to pursue others in love. The same way Jesus pursued us in love. Amen, right?
Yeah.
And how do we do this? How do we do this? So we got faith, love, we got obedience, and we got worship. Right? That's how you get the flow. Get it? F-L-O-W, faith, love, obedience, worship. Flow of your life going in the right direction. Because anybody know what happens when water gets stagnant? Anybody ever seen a stagnant water? It's nasty. And I should have prepared a picture. But I didn't. But just envision. I think everybody's seen it. Envision the water that's stagnant. It's got like all that green stuff on it. It's all dirty, you know. Like it's really thick. Because it's not moving. It's not getting fresh water coming out all the time. So faith, love, obedience, and worship, that's how we get ourselves to not be stagnant and not be dead and broken. We get the flow going. We get to come back around. And we get it moving. And then we will find what we were made to do, what we were purposed to do in this life. And I went in the original text, the original Greek, you know, and broke down Jeremiah 29:11. I just did have to. I had to break it down. So I could use that, you know.
Yeah.
And the way this one was worded was, "For I know the thoughts I think toward you, declares the Lord, not to harm you, but to give you a hope and an expected end." I guess how that was worded sounded good to me, so I went with that. Okay? I know the thoughts I think toward you. That actually means in the original Greek, I know the purpose that I've planned out for you.
Yes.
So we have the purpose for your life and He's planned out for you. You know? Plans to give you a hope. In the original Greek means health, welfare, prosperity, and every kind of good. Right? Not to harm you, which is, I'm not going to harm you, I'm not going to cause you to harm anybody else, and I'm not going to punish you. Right? I'm going to give you an expected end, which is your future. Right? The expected end, because so many of us, we wonder, is this what God has for my life? You know, is this what God has for my life? But if you just get that flow going, faith, love, obedience, worship, then you would know, and God will start speaking to you. And you know what God has planned for your life. And it'll be so big that you will think, sometimes now, ain't no way. If it's going to happen, you're going kind of slow because it ain't no way it looks like it's not going to happen. That's how big it's going to be. And if you feel like you should end up in a spot and everybody you tell is all like, yeah, that can happen, you're probably supposed to end up somewhere bigger. Because no dream will be so small that everybody can latch on to it. Somebody's going to reject your dream, right? Everybody rejected Jesus. You know, everybody. Except for 12 people. You want to talk about, I don't preach to enough people? Jesus had 12 that actually listened to him. 12.
Yeah.
And he changed the world. I mean, he kind of had an advantage, but you see what I'm saying? So we've got to have faith, and it's the faith that Jesus gives to us. And if you want to stand for me, alright, so faith. So I want everybody in this place to stand up. Stand up. Everybody. Just if you don't want to, just do it, then you have to. You don't speak. Everybody? Alright, even Billy. So, we're standing up, right? And now we all have something we struggle with. Even Paul struggled, because he referred to it as a thorn in my flesh. And he didn't ever name what his thorn in his flesh was. Why? Because he was ashamed of what it was. He didn't want to tell you about it. He was ashamed of what that thorn in his flesh was. So, what could a thorn in his flesh be? You know, could it have been guilt when he was Saul? Because he used to kill people that loved Jesus. Could it have been guilt? You know, could the thorn in his flesh have been that he wasn't a good speaker? Because in person he was unimpressive. That's in the Bible, right? That's why he wrote letters, because in person he was unimpressive, right? So could it have been that he wanted to be more impressive in person? Could it have been an addiction of his? Doesn't matter what the addiction is. Any addiction. Addiction is you can be addicted to anything. I'm addicted to Big Macs, okay?
Yeah.
So that's an addiction. Could he be ashamed of his addiction, right? That he has. Could it be what it is for so many people? It's a sexual sin on any level, and he's really ashamed of it. You know, could it be a moral thing that he has his own manipulation issues? You know, and he has his own anger issues. And he comes off arrogant because really he's too afraid to be vulnerable on the inside, so everybody doesn't like him because he comes off arrogant, and he's ashamed of all this. I think the reason he didn't name it is because he was telling you, it's all those things, right? But listen to Jesus' response. My grace is all you need, and my power works best in your weakness. Right, so we all have something to give them, but just remember that God, Jesus' grace is all you need because God made peace with everything in heaven and on earth when Jesus shed his blood on the cross. So he is all you need, and his power actually works best in your weakness. So I want everybody close your eyes. Oh, we got no enemies here. I got no judgment here. Just close your eyes. Now, I don't know if we ended up actually giving Valerie a list of songs. We did. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is, when I'm done, Valerie's going to start playing songs. I want you guys to close your eyes, and you can say it out loud. You can whisper it. You can scream it if you're not afraid, you're not ashamed. Just call out what it is you're struggling with. If it's one big thing, if it's numerous things, you just call it out. I'm going to do it right along with you. And just call out what you're struggling with. In your own mind. You can be in your own mind if you don't want to say it out loud. Sorry, you can be in your own mind. And you say, addiction, I have faith in this. I have faith, all powerful faith, and I declare that you don't have power over me anymore. Then say, in the name of Jesus. Because that's the most powerful name. No name can stand than Jesus. And after you've done that, after you have declared that this is not going to happen, this is not going to struggle with this, it has no dominion over you, in the name of Jesus, I want to do what we call small groups. And that's, I want you to find at least 2 people. 2 other people beside yourself. It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 6, it could be however many you want. But find at least 2 people. And you just get in a little small circle all around this room. At least 2 other people. And you just pray for each other. And you worship with each other. And if God gives you something to tell somebody, don't be ashamed of it. Don't be afraid. You just do it. You know? And like, if you want to pray for something that you have seen going on, you know, we're with people that we're comfortable with, that we know, that we love. Because we got to have faith for each other. Right? Because to intercede for each other, intercession means fill the gap. Build a bridge, right? We got to intercede for each other. And we got to love on each other, right? So you give it at least 2 other people. And y'all just pray for each other. And if, like, don't feel like you have to stay here a long, long, long time. Just because you want to be all super spiritual. Like, if you're done, and you guys are good, y'all can stay and worship, or y'all can leave if y'all have to leave, right? But don't feel like you should be rushed either. Because I promise you, if we have one person, and everybody else is gone, we have one person in here pursuing God, no music's going to stop playing. Me and Matthew not going to leave. We're right here with you, bud. We got faith. If you don't got faith for yourself, we have faith for you. Down to one person. Everybody, I don't want anybody in here to leave until they know, until they believe, until they have told themselves so much, I'm perfect. Because Jesus looks at me that way. I am ready, you know, I'm willing, I can do this. I messed up, but that's not who I am. That's the past. And I want you to really believe that. So give it 2 other people, and at least 2 other people. As the music starts, I'm going to ask you to just cut all the lights off. You know, you just do it. And if you don't find 2 people you're comfortable with, it just happens we got 2 people right here. You know what I'm saying? So you just raise your hand. We'll come with you, you know, so. I suppose I just start playing the music. As the music starts playing, you just go right into it. And basically, you're serving each other like Jesus told us to.